So in this test, let's have a look at how skin tone colors hold up when comparing the NiSI ND filters against the true ND. This is something that's very important when choosing a filter. So here's our reference image. This is using the Sony f35. There's no ND being added. The camera has been white balanced. This is just to give us a base to see what happens when we start adding ND to the image. So now we've added 0.6 ND strength from the true ND. As you can see, it's the image has remained very neutral. The skin tone looks almost the same as when no ND was added. Now we'll just put in some of the NiSI at 0.6. You'd see maybe a very slight shift to the magenta, but still, holding very true to the original image that had no ND added. Okay, now we're going to increase it up to 0.9 using both the NiSI and the true ND to see what that looks like. So we've got the true ND at 0.9, again remaining very neutral, no shifts anywhere in the color, looking very nice. Now I've got the NiSI, as you can see there, a bit of a shift to the magenta. I mean, still pleasing skin tones, maybe a little bit pinker than a neutral image, but again, nothing that looks horrible to the eye. Now we're going to ramp it up to 1.5. This is normally sort of the sort of territory where you start to see sort of color shifts occurring when using ND filters. So again, there's the true ND at 1.5. Again, remaining very, very neutral. Hardly any image shift, if at all. Still very neutral compared to no ND. Now here's the NiSI. You can see, it's a slight magenta shift there. You can see it in the skin tones. You can see it on the back wall, but it's still keeping white relatively white. Still a fairly pleasing image. Nothing to be overly concerned about. Now we're going to go all the way up to 2.1 and compare the filters again. So you see it's a little bit darker, struggling for a bit of light here, but here's the true ND at 2.1. Again, remaining very neutral. You don't see any sort of shift in the skin tone color either way. No real magenta or green being added. There's the NiSI, still holding up fairly well, even from the 1.5. You can see the slight magenta shift there, but still pleasing skin tones, and something that I'd be very happy using. It's performing very well at 2.1. Okay, now let's compare both the NiSI and the true ND at their full filter strengths here of 2.1 to no ND, just to see what the image looks like. So again, here's my baseline image here, no ND added on the Sony f35. That's sort of been white balanced there. None of these other shots have been white balanced. I've kept with the original balance that I did with no ND and just added the filters. So there's a true ND all the way up at 2.1, as you can see, still very, very neutral. Might be slightly underexposed there. Not much I can do there in terms of getting enough light in when you're adding that much ND. And here's the NiSI, as you can see, a little magenta shift there, but still again very pleasing. The white still looks reasonably white. The lips look okay. The skin tones are still fairly pleasing. And there we go back again to the no ND look. So both of them held up but particularly well when it came to skin tones. Okay, now here's just a split screen. We can have a look at the no ND as compared to the true ND at 0.6 there. Again, what we're looking at is the skin tone. We're looking at the lips, and we're also looking at the background wall to see whether the color is shifting much there. Here we go. Now this is using the NiSI. You know, still at 0.6, slight magenta shift in the skin tones, but you know, still very well controlled, fairly neutral at these levels here. Again, this is at 2.1, so maximum compared to no ND. We're having a look at the same sort of things. As you can see, still remaining very neutral, the true ND there. And finally, the NiSI. This is where you can sort of see a little bit of the difference there. You can see the sort of stronger shift to magenta, and the wall behind the colour has changed slightly, but still very good considering the amount of ND that we're using.